this week's Boss Lady, we take a closer look at Rosie the Riveter. The iconic image represents a generation of women who worked behind the scenes during World War II. Many believe these women paved the way for a new generation of female workers, aka boss ladies. One such woman was Eleanor Otto. Eleanor was known as one of the original Rosie the Riveters. She recently passed away, but not before sharing her story with the American Veterans Center. Take a look.
I was in San Diego, and they advertised for women if they would like to come to work, because the men were going to war. Then I applied at Roar Aircraft in Chula Vista, and they hired all the women that came there. Other women came from other states to work when they heard about it, because first time women had that type of job. My mother and my stepdad, and they all thought it was a very exciting thing. My sister and I went to work. I had a sister living in San Francisco. She became a welder on a ship. And my sister and I were riveters. The men taught us and how the tools and riveting and all that. But we had to have some men there to show us work that we had never done. And it didn't take us long to catch on. We could see that the men's job wasn't as hard as they made us think it was. And we all did it. That's why we go on like that, because we all did it. And it didn't take us long to learn. And because we got cooperations from the men, at first they were kind of dubious about having women come in and do their jobs. But after they learned that we were ready to be experienced and cooperating in everything they wanted us to do, it worked out great. We all got along great. We worked on bigger parts, like the nose of the plane or the fuselage of the plane, connecting parts and even wiring. And sometimes they'd want us to work overtime if they had a schedule to meet to get the plane out in time, to send the parts over to put on the big plane. It's a challenge. Women want to be challenged, and which we have been, and look what it's brought. We get congratulations from all these women that are CEOs and presidents of corporations that we paved the way. So proud of that fact. I never realized till now. I didn't realize how important it was then, because it was just something we were doing. We knew how important it was in a way, because we knew we had to win the war. We had to win that war. So that's why we kept busy and kept working at it. But we didn't know how important it was, and being special doing it as women. I worked in the office. I didn't like that because I wasn't moving around enough. So I started doing car hopping, bring food to the car, put it on the windshield. They put us on skates, and then I got out of that. I know I did fall down and everything. So I did that for quite a while. So from 1945 to 51, I did other things. So then in 51, I worked at Ryan Aeronautical for 14 years, and they built the Spirit of St. Louis for Charles Lindbergh. And then in 1964, they laid us off because they stopped building airplanes. So about a year I didn't work, and somebody I knew came up here to Long Beach, and she said, "You better get up here because Douglas is hiring women for the first time since the war." Got hired just like that when they found out we had worked at Ryan. And they promised me 10 years of work. I've been there 49. I have to tell some guys sometimes, there's a rivet gun about this big, and when I grab it and go to use it, one of the guys went and told the boss, "She's using that big rivet gun." I said, "I've been using this rivet gun before you were born." I said, "I'm not as frail as I look. I'm strong." I had to tell them that. You got to fight your way with men, you know. The guys would say, "You're working too fast. You're making us look bad." I said, "Well, keep working then." They wondered, where do I get my energy? Which I still have. One time, my sister, not too long ago, she said, "Are you ever going to retire?" And she, "What are you going to do? Work till you're 95? Little did I know. I just got smart. I said, "Maybe." Little did I know. It's amazing that I lived this long, and I was aware and seeing the differences, and I'm proud of that. Years ago, we couldn't get certain jobs. If you wanted to get credit, you couldn't even get credit. And so many things have changed, the women, and if we had a part of it, I am so happy.
Eleanor first went to work as a riveter in World War II, and she was still at it 70 years later. Otto was known for working on every single C-17 at the Boeing plant up until the day she finally decided to call it quits. Eleanor retired at the age of 95 in 2014. There's even a bar named after her in Long Beach, California. She recently passed away a few months ago in Las Vegas from a stroke. She was 104 years old. If you know a boss lady you think should be featured on our show, drop me a line at Andrea at dailyflashshow.com. We would love to hear from you and share a new bossy story. And if you want to check out all of our previous Boss Lady segments, all you have to do is head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Once you're there, look for the Boss Lady tab. Click on it and it will take you to all the previous boss ladies we featured on our show. Again, dailyflashshow.com. Email me, Andrea at dailyflashshow.com, if you know a boss lady you want to be featured on the show. So much more straight ahead. We've got news, entertainment, everything in between coming your way right here on Daily Flash. Don't go anywhere. You miss a minute, you miss a lot.